What's the most ridiculous risk you took that actually paid off? I spent my entire savings on a storage unit I couldn't see inside and accidentally became a witness in a missing person case. I was 26, barely scraping by working retail for $13 an hour. My roommate bailed on our lease with zero notice, and I had 15 days to come up with $1,800 for a solo apartment where I was homeless. I had $900 in my account, not even close. I started looking at side hustles, flipping furniture, reselling clothes, anything. That's when I saw the storage auction notice at the facility next to my gym. Unit 347, abandoned for 3 years. Starting bid $600. I showed up surrounded by professional resellers with trucks and crews. They all had thousands to spend. I had grocery money. The auctioneer wouldn't let us inside. Padlock was rusted shut. You could only see about 2 feet through the gap at the bottom. I saw cardboard boxes and a filing cabinet. Everyone else saw junk. Bidding started at $600. Nobody moved. Going once, I raised my hand. One reseller laughed. "You just bought garbage, kid." I paid $600, got the bolt cutters and rolled up the door. Boxes were stacked everywhere, but perfectly organized. Labels on everything. Tax returns 2018, medical records, birth certificates, family photos. This wasn't abandoned storage. This was someone's entire life packed carefully. Then I found a laptop bag between 2 boxes. Inside was an iPad, turned off but not dead. I charged it at the facility office. When it powered on, the lock screen showed a family photo. Woman, 2 kids, dog. The background was a missing person poster. Sandra Chen, missing since March 2019. Last seen in Portland, Oregon. I stared at it for a full minute, then called the non-emergency line. They transferred me 4 times before I reached Detective Morris in missing persons. He told me to stay put and not touch anything. 20 minutes later, 3 police cars showed up. They spent 6 hours going through everything, photographing every box and document. I sat drinking bad coffee while they worked. Finally, Detective Morris sat down with me. "Sandra Chen isn't missing," he said. "She's hiding from her ex-husband who had been threatening her and the kids for months. She fled in 2019, put everything in storage under a fake name, and planned to come back, but the facility changed ownership in 2020. Her payment got declined during the transition. The new owners sent notices to an address she no longer lived at. By the time she realized what happened, the unit was already scheduled for auction. She had been trying to locate it for 2 years. It contained evidence she desperately needed for her restraining order case. Financial records proving he drained their accounts, threatening messages, custody documents, medical records from hospital visits, everything she needed to prove her case in court. They contacted Sandra that night. She drove 6 hours to meet me at the station the next morning. She was crying before she walked through the door, hugged me, kept thanking me over and over. Her mother was with her. They paid me back the $600 immediately. Her mom handed me an envelope with $2,000 cash inside. They wouldn't take no for an answer. The following week, they helped me move into my new apartment, where boxes and everything. 3 months later, Detective Morris called. Sandra's ex-husband had been arrested. My storage unit find gave them enough evidence to file criminal charges, financial abuse, stalking, violating protective orders. I got called to testify as a witness to authenticate where the documents came from. During trial, the prosecutor mentioned in her opening statement how this case almost went cold until someone took a chance on a random storage unit. Sandra testified about everything. The documents backed every detail. Bank statements showing he transferred $40,000 out of their joint account the day before she left. Text messages where he threatened her. Medical records from 3 emergency room visits. The jury took 5 hours to convict on all charges. He got 18 months in prison. Sandra got full custody of both kids with no visitation rights. The judge said the evidence was overwhelming. After everything ended, the storage facility owner called me into his office. He felt terrible about what almost happened. He gave me a free climate-controlled unit for a year to start my reselling business. I turned that $600 gamble into steady income. Last I heard, Sandra and her kids moved to a new state. She got a teaching job and the kids were doing great. Sometimes the best risks aren't about profit.